took this photo earlier in the year when I was on a boat trip in Windermere. I'm going to change the colour scheme. I'm only going to use a couple of colours on this. I think burnt umber and ultramarine. And like yesterday's picture, I'll try and get like a sort of light coming down the middle of it. And then just really simplify the land in the background. And then just put only 2 or 3 boats with the reflections, but silhouetted against the light. So let's see how it turns out. I'm going to start the painting by giving it a good soak. Clean water using a large Von Ranson hake evenly all over. And I want this nice and wet because I don't want it to dry for at least a couple of minutes. Give me a chance to get some of that skying reflected down into the water. So like I say, it's just going to be burnt umber, ultramarine and all various sort of shades in between. So I'm going to try and preserve a sort of lighter area going down the middle. So I'm just going to see what it looks like with one coat, so to speak, and then I may need to dry it and re-wet it and put another second coat on to try and strengthen in 1 or 2 places. I'll see how it turns out. Stick a few little, there's no clouds in the photo, but I like to stick a few in going down. Yeah, a bit darker up there. A few little clouds up there. The one underneath. Just darken this a bit. I'm just going to pop in some of that land in the background. Something like that. And then just want to get it slightly more elevated on the edges. It just seems to, it's all a bit flat. And then not forget to pull down the reflections as you go along. Let's just darken that sky a bit. Push it in from the sides, down the bottom. Take the tissue, a few little clouds here and there. Okay, I want it nice and strong, not too much water, get it nice and dark. Stronger tone there, there's a few trees and stuff there, down the reflections. Trees and things along there. You'll notice as it dries, it will get, tones will get darker and darker. You put more and more layers on. paper stretched, so I'm just going to pull it tight and then I'll give it a quick dry. I don't think I'm going to bother with another layer. It hasn't turned out too bad, but in fact no I won't. I'll leave it as it is for the time being. I'm going to carry on so there's like a foreground. Let's see how that get that nice and dark now. Like I say, as it dries, it'll go. You'll get it on darker and darker. Yeah, sort of stick that bush up there. Yeah, sort of coming the wrong way like that. And again, just pull down the reflections. You see the difference when it starts to dry, as opposed to while it's still wet. So you get the sort of soft edges. I'll just stick a little twig in there. And we've got a little, there's a little island over there somewhere. Just pop the little island in. And pull down the reflections. Oh, that didn't work properly. There. And you've got like just little ripples on the water. Again, just get your little chisel edge, not too much water, and just pop these like little ripples. Just dipping the tips in just to bring the edges back together. And again, nice and dark. And just sort of holding it like that, and then just popping it like that against the. Obviously, it gets a bit difficult down the bottom, so just kind of. Let's do a few more on this one. Well, I don't know if it looks better or worse without these ripples, to be honest with you. I'm contemplating turning that into land, but I don't know. I've made my mind up yet. Does that look better or worse without the ripples? I can't make my mind up. Let's stick a few boats in and see what it looks like with the boats on. So I'm going to switch to the 3/4 inch flat brush, and again back into the burnt umber. And I want this really nice and dark now because I want this boat silhouetted, and I'm not going to do much detail on it. It's just going to be a sort of boat outline, but I want it nice and dark. And then let's pop him. This should pop in right up there somewhere. Pop your reflection down. And then pop a little mast on. Let's stick another couple in, I think. I'm going to put just a smaller one behind somewhere. Again, just pop the reflection. This one. Now I'm going to put a mast on that one. what's we having? I'll stick one there, a big one. Big mast. Don't forget the reflection, and that's obviously got to come down as high as that is. Yeah, stick a couple of little ones behind. Two just don't look right with the masts. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this into a bigger one, I think. Take a bigger one like that. The reflection. And then stick another mast on it. That'll do, I think. Switch to the rigger, number 3 rigger. Let's have a few little birds in there. Let's stick the birds somewhere. It's got to be somewhere in the lighter area because that's where you'll get all the contrast. You don't want to stick them in, you know, amongst the dark, you know, in the trees or something. Stick them where you're going to see them, and don't slap them dead centre because it'll look a bit, quite look right. So where are we? I'm going to go somewhere like that. Okay. You can always put just a little hint of some rigging or something on there. Again with a reflection. Just a little bit of I think I'll call that one finished. So pop your name in the corner and let's have a closer look at it and see how it compares to the photo. So here we've got our final painting. Let's have a look at the photograph again. You can see obviously the first thing I've changed is the colour scheme, predominantly blue here, but I thought I'd change it to a more sort of what's the word? More of a monochrome look. So the sky, very little happening in the sky in the photograph. Just blue skies, nice day. So I've tried to make it a bit more exciting with the clouds and this light basically that runs down the centre of the scene. Once the sky's in, it's the turn of our distant hills and mountains, just put in very simply. And you can just see the subtle differences in the two colours as they're sort of unmixed on the brush. And then coming forward, you see how I put this one in a lot darker than the rest, so it stands out against the background. Also generally use stronger tones as we come towards the viewer. Same with this little island on the other side, and then not really forgetting just a little flick with a fingernail just to get a little impression of a little tree there, and then don't forget the reflections. And the boat's put in very simply using the 3/4 inch flat, not forgetting the reflection underneath. And there's just a very subtle bit of rigging there on the boat. Again, reflections. Well, I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. That was just a quick impression of Windermere. It just shows how you don't have to stick to the colour scheme in your reference photos. You can basically use whatever colours you want. Any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.